Yo, what's up, everybody? This is TA from Noble Sports Entertainment, back at you with another exciting edition of NBA Talk on today. And you guessed it, we're talking about no other than the Los Angeles Lakers on today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video installment. Now, guys, I want to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Lakers. And the reason why I want to talk about these guys is because Lonzo and Brandon Ingram showed up last night. Brandon Ingram had 29 points, Lonzo 21 points. And I think the reason why a lot of fans and a lot of people are on these two guys heavily is because they have been inconsistent. I think the more that Lonzo and Brandon can be consistent, not saying that these guys are bums or anything like that. I do think that they have potential to be better players, but they have to play with the heart and the passion out on the floor. And that's something that I see that these guys got to do and that they have to work on. It's just trying to be consistent. Yes, NBA players have bad nights. Every night, you're not going to shoot well. Some nights you're going to struggle, especially if you know your jump shot is not falling. You know you need to take it to the rack. You need to take it to the cup. If your jump shot is not falling and you're steady trying to knock down threes, if you're not a shooter, shooters are always given the green light to keep shooting until they get out of their slump. But guys that are not shooters but hit threes every now and then, they need to take it to the rack. Try to draw fouls. Try to insert yourself into the game and let the game come to you. Don't just be out there forcing shots that make you look bad out there. So you want to be consistent with your play. And that's the thing that I see with Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, is that these two guys are just going to have to be more consistent. If the Lakers want to make the playoffs, and if the Lakers want to try to make some noise in the West, they're going to have to play with consistency from all the players, from the young players to LeBron James, and even to the bench players. And that's the biggest thing that I see, guys, with Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. These guys just got to start playing more consistent. And Lonzo has to know, like, when his jump shot is not falling for him, he needs to know that he needs to drive to the basket and be more accurate with his layups, because he does miss a lot of layups to be a guard. And that's one thing that you want to do. You always want to be able to go to the cup. That's like your bread and butter. If you can't do anything else, if you can't knock down a jump shot or you can't hit the mid-range jumper, at least you can be able to take it to the hole and draw a foul. And the same thing with Brandon Ingram. You just don't want to be standing around in isolation and trying to isolate guys all day in the game. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to get the ball passed around. And I'm sure eventually the ball will make its way back to you. But that was a good victory for the Lakers, because you don't want to keep dropping games in the West, because you will find yourself out of the playoffs. One of the toughest conferences to play in. So that's the only thing I wanted to say, guys, that Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, we want to see consistency out of them. And I think once you start seeing that consistency out of them, then you'll start seeing the maturity. And not only will you see the maturity, you'll start seeing the growth in their game. All right, you guys, I am TA of Noble Sports Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because on this channel, you know what we do. And I don't even got to tell you. We talk sports, period.